So I've been messing around with Obsidian Bases. Today specifically, the last day or two. To try and just kind of make a series of bases to help with like organization of creative projects. Okay. I think that's... There we go. I hear the fireplace. Right, let's be in a coffee shop. I've been messing around with Obsidian Bases. This is our fresh vault. It's got some dummy nodes in it. And then a bunch of bases and templates that I've made. Just trying to figure out the easiest way to make some templates and bases to kind of have keep track of creative projects. And so in this case, that means like large umbrellas that hold a lot of other projects, and those projects have other notes that are linked to them. So let's go ahead and move this guy into there. I picked a theme. Terminal 2K is what I'm using right now. This is what I really like, though. But if I have to go into some of these other settings menus, it crashes. But we can use this right now. So we'll use the Retro S98 theme for now. I'll just have to switch if I need to go into Quick Add. So that's it. So basically, I've got a few bases right now. Ones that get embedded into notes, I'm putting into this folder here. And then ones that don't, that I might use as like navigation and stuff like that, are just in this top level folder here. So we've got two project groups is what I'm calling them, which are like the super top level of the projects, right? So I've got a note for my YouTube channel here that this is streaming on. Its project type is YouTube channel. Description, main YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. So if I click this, I love the pixelated headers. It's fantastic. I've got two headers here. Early stage subprojects and active subprojects. They don't have anything right now. I think they should have, but I might have changed a YAML property or something, so maybe that's broken right now. And basically, subprojects is what I'm referring to as anything that is its own kind of goal within the larger project group umbrella. So anything involving progressing the overall goals of the self-discovery channel, the YouTube channel, is going to be a sub-project of some kind. And then as far as what is an early stage versus an active, there's kind of like a status effect used in these sub-projects. So this is one that's a sub-project. And so parent group, self-discovery channel, sub-project type, video, URL, nothing right now. You know, when this task is complete, it would have a URL somewhere. So that means I could just pop that there. And then I've got the creative date, which is a link to the date. So if this ever gets integrated into like my main Obsidian Vault, that would be a clickable link and backlink to the daily note. First last, Bases is like data view. Bases is the first party version of data view. It doesn't do everything that data view does, but it does quite a lot already. It's only in early access, so you have to be a supporter. You have to have made a donation to them to get it, but it's very similar. Now I'm just not understanding why this doesn't bring up that one. So let's take a look at the actual base file itself. So index of subprojects is what it's called here. And if we go up here to filter, we're going to have a couple options here in the menu. So all views is going to be like the base set of filters that is going to look at your vault, and it's going to filter everything down based on this top thing right here. And then you can make different views, which are like versions of that. So this is looking for anything in my vault that contains the tag type/subproject. Let's go take a quick look at this guy here, and it does type/subproject. It does have that. And note parent group contains this .file.name. So this is kind of a tricky advanced thing. I got this off of the Obsidian subreddit. Basically, there's a little code thing you can see here, and if you click that, it'll basically let you type out more complex things to do than just the kind of drop-down thing you have here. Oh, and I know what's wrong, so I'll get to that in a second. So this is going to look at the file name of the note that it's embedded in, and it's going to look at the front matter key parent group, and it's just going to kind of match them up. So if we go into this project group note, and you can see that actually, let's go to the subproject note, and you can see that the parent group tag has the self-discovery channel in there, so it should link to that note. It's way easier than data view because Bases it's very menu driven. You can go into the kind of code level of it, whether that's just through adding more complex stuff up here, or the actual file itself, because these are individual files. You can see up here it says base. So each of these is its own file, and you can open it up, and you can see the code that makes it up, and you can edit that. So there's a lot of flexibility. It's very straightforward and menu driven, which I think is going to make it by default way easier. But it also has the ability where you can kind of get into the nitty gritty if that's something that you want. So the subproject one, so I know why, because I said all of the following are true. This idea. I'm actually kind of confused. Oh, that's why. That's because these are showing the same thing. So early stage is any subproject that's tagged with idea, or there's one other. Subproject template. So idea or planned. There's also in progress and completed. So this is an idea. So for me, the way I think of that is something that is an idea is something I'm just gonna kind of put out there as something that I might want to do one day, but it's nowhere near that level of progression. So if I go, oh yeah, I want to make a video about this, and that's all I've got no thought beyond that, I'll put it as a sub-project, mark it as an idea, go about my day. And then as I go through, I can see all of those things listed in there. And I can click on them to go to the note, and I can kind of add stuff and work my way up towards something else. Now the other status that it could be that would also fall into early staged is planned. And that's like, if I need something to work on next, it's going to be from the planned status category. Because that will be stuff, it's like, I've got enough in there, I can move forward with this, right? So those would both be down here. And then stuff that are active, like I'm working on them right now, would fall under the active subprojects. So if we go back to the subprojects one, and we go filter, we can kind of see how that plays out. Okay, and if we click on the one that's embedded in there, it's the same thing. So beyond that, if I go into one of the subproject ones, it's going to have a base embedded in there that's going to have support documents. So if I make a new document that is linked to one of those subprojects, so an outline, a bunch of research, a script, anything like that, it'll be listed here. And similarly, the base knows to do that because I put a clickable wiki link in the properties category under parent project. Then I also do a tag type/project support, and again a clickable link with the date that it was created. So that'll link to any daily notes that I might have in there. So I think I don't know what else base-wise this kind of needs, but I haven't really thought too much of what the end goal is going to look like. Now the other part of this is quick add. If I click quick add up there, it's going to give me a few options. New support document, new subproject, new project group, and then another one that I'll talk about in just a second. So if I go new support document, I think this is it's not clear, but it's asking me for a name. And it's not going to name this the note directly. So I've kind of done it so that it's going to add some stuff at the end, basically a date and timestamp. Because for a lot of these things, I don't know if I'm really going to type out a bunch of notes or like a long title. I'm just going to go like outline. Oh, template not found. Yeah, I messed with the template names. Let me fix that. Let me jump from there so that quick add doesn't just crash Obsidian. Let's go ahead. Yeah. And then that should work fine. Does this one have it? Nope. Is that gonna work? I guess we'll see. Quick add. Let's go new project group. Alright, let's go from the top down. Alright, so that makes a new creative note that is tagged project group. And I've already used YouTube channel. Let's select that again. Just get the clickable link. Oh, this does not have the base embedded in it by default, so I'll show you how to embed bases. And then let's make a subproject. So it starts off with all of those statuses. Let's go ahead and make this in progress. Type subproject. It's got a due date as well. I don't know if I like the due date. I don't really use them too much. Just because, hey, no one's waiting on anything I'm making, right? So why put that stress on me? But it's there because why not? That could be useful. I do have a small amount of commission work that I kind of do lately. So it would be good to be able to put some of that in here and have it with a due date. And that, of course, will let me make a specific base that can show me all the stuff due in the next week, for example. Project URL, project type. So this will be video, parent group. So I need that base that's going to show me the subprojects. So I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to make a copy of this, and I'm going to edit it. Active subprojects. So this is just going to be stuff I'm working on right now. Alright, so index of subprojects. This should list all of the inactive ones. Let's do this one first. Whoops. So I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to drag it in there so it's going to embed it. And so automatically you can see it's got promo commercial there and it's got the in progress tag. There's another one I should add, maybe like on hold or something, or waiting, but I don't have that right now. And I would put that in the active one. Because right now it's just in progress, because it shouldn't show completed stuff. But anyway. So all you have to do, you can either control and drag, or you can link to it like any other, link, and then add the exclamation mark at the front to embed it. Now let's go ahead and let's open up the, let's see, subprojects. Let's change this to index of inactive. Always update. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get rid of this view. So this view is just ideas. Let's go back to, which one was that? Variety hour. Active subprojects and early stage. Alright, let's go ahead. Inactive. Ooh. And now one of the things you can do with bases that you can't do with data view is you can edit these just by clicking on them. So I don't know why it doesn't say video. I feel like I messed up the thingies. Fields. Project type. Subproject type, not project type. Alright. Let's remove that. Let's change the template. Boom. And this right here, the curly braces with the word date, That's from quick add. So when I make a new project, new subproject note, it's going to grab this template, quick add is, and then quick add is going to take this, and it's going to replace this with the current date. And then I just put square brackets around the curly braces so that it makes it a link. So let's go back to here. So I can click on this, I can add planned, and that's going to automatically move it down here. I'll get rid of in progress. So you can see it just, boom, right away, done. In progress, boom. Now let's make sure that active subprojects is not going to show anything that's completed. So it does. So let's get rid of that. Active subproject base, filter. So we'll add another filter. I'm going to keep it status. And does not contain and completed. So this view is going to grab everything tagged as type/subproject. Then it's going to look at the parent group YAML key, and it's going to see, does that have this file, a link to this file in there, or does this say the name of this file? And it just has to say the name. It doesn't have to be a link, but I make it be a link. Just so you can click it and navigate between the bases. But this is this.file.name refers to whatever note the base is embedded in. And then it's going to take all of those notes and it's going to remove all of them that have the idea, planned, or completed status field. So now, go back to Variety Hour, and it shows nothing there. Now let's go ahead, let's make a base that will show all of the completed subprojects. List of boom. Now we're going to go to the filter here, and we're just going to change this. Add status contains completed. And it shows nothing here because this one needs it to be embedded in something. So hopefully I can just click drag completed down here, and automatically you can see right down there we've got a archive of when it was completed. Completed subprojects. Now we're probably going to want to change this a little bit. So the active one has the status, which once I add a waiting or on hold status, we would need this here. And early stage, there's ideas and there's planned, which you could change to like ready or something like that. So there's multiple statuses there. But completed projects, is that going to have just the one status? Because if it's just going to be anything that's marked completed and nothing else, we can get rid of this column. We don't need it. Would we need the description? Like, maybe we would. That's kind of personal preference. Do we need the description on the early stage ones? Maybe. I don't know. Those are, philosophical questions for, every person to ponder on their own. But what might be useful is a completed field. So our subproject template has a created date, and it's got a due date. Maybe we should also add a completed date, or we can just say completed date. I don't know. We'll change that to property type date. And let's go back to here. Now, we don't need completed to show up in any of them except for the completed subprojects. So, let's go ahead and go to properties. We're going to see created time. Oh, you know what? Because we don't have that field in any of our actual things yet. So add property, we're gonna go completed date. Let's go with there. Now if we go back here, oops, let's go to the one that we're gonna embed, completed, properties. It still doesn't have it. Let's see. Oh, maybe because it doesn't fit the filter. Completed. Yeah, it should, right? Completed subprojects. Filter. Completed date. Let's make a new subproject and see. Completed date right there. Let's go ahead. Let's say we completed this. And completed. Properties. Still does not show up. Let's go ahead. Let's close this and reopen it and see if it's some sort of refreshing issue. Let's crank up the coffee ambience. Interesting. It still does not show it. Completed subprojects. Let's rename this. It should be. Oh, I see it right there. Interesting. Let's see. Completed subproject properties. I don't see it in here. When I look at the properties view in the embedded version, it's right there. Let's go ahead and move this over. Now we don't need to show the status because its status is going to be completed for all of them. So completed date, name, type, and then description. I don't think we need the description too much, but let's get rid of it there. All right. Let's go to feature length film, parent group, do that one, subproject type, video. Completed dates. Let's go back here. Now we've got two there. If we click this, we can organize them by the completed date, which is cool. So let's go ahead and let's add the completed one. Oh. Now, it's possible you won't want the completed one embedded in there, which is fine. You can just do a regular link to it, although it won't work. You'd have to make a separate base because the base is set up so one of the filters requires it to be embedded because it has to look at the fields of the node that it's in. So super simple, click and drag. We got it in there now. So this is not right. Active subs, because I think I changed it, right? Which one is this embedding? Oh, that's why, because it's embedding the inactive one. So that's the wrong file. So let's go ahead, active, and that does not show it. So active projects, just ideas, completed subprojects. So right now, each of these is its own base file. And that's just because it seems like if you do a separate view, it kind of changes in the embedded notes. And I'm not sure if I'm just not understanding how it works or what the actual issue is there. So these are separate files right now, which is fine. Now the next one is, let's go into that subproject. It's got the support documents there. We click down and we've got the link back up. We've got the document type, the name, and a description. So that's a field in here. First draft outline for video. We go up to here. The support document now has the description listed right there. So I think this is a solid foundation for organizing my, creative projects in here. Once this gets integrated into my actual vault, one of the things I really like to do is color coding and using icons for the thing, like supercharged links or something. So I can very easily just, because they're all consistently tagged, I can give them specific icons or text coloring and stuff like that. The other thing that I want to do, which can already be done because the subproject notes are, very malleable. They can represent anything, actually. But I do eventually want to do a project task or subproject task template. There would basically be a slimmed down thing, and it would be just completed or not completed. And I think those could also have supporting documents attached to them. But I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Because I'd want that to be integrated into like the active subproject thing here. So maybe it's a subproject task or something. But you can't have different columns in one base, obviously, right, for different things. So I'm not sure what I would do if I just want that to be a checkbox. Because then there would be, just checkboxes on all of the projects, all of the sub-projects listed there. They would have no function for the other ones. Unless I replace, like, the completed status with a checkbox or something. It gets too convoluted and doesn't make much sense. If I really want the simple tick on, tick off type thing of a checkbox, or like a straight up to-do list, it makes way more sense to just do a specific base that aggregates all of the checkboxes, the task notes, and then just like list them here, and I just tick them off as I go. So I'm not sure how that will work out yet. Do I want that on the main project group page, or where would that live? Is it easier to just make a series of checkboxes in here using like the tasks plugin, which is super nice? You know, I don't know. A lot of ways to tackle that kind of project. And then I don't know really what I want to do with this. You know, do I want them all to be embedded? I think completed would just be a link to a non-embedded base that lists all the completed stuff, and then I can just sort it however I want. It just seems to be easier, and I don't really need an ever-growing database on the bottom of each note, you know? But for right now, this is cool. So the other thing that was in the quick add, I'll show you. So research notes down here, I've got a bunch of gobbledygook, lorem ipsum, you know, random notes. There's random text in there. So what I've done, and I don't think I have the base yet. Let's go ahead and make this a way shorter note. This is absurdly long. The note that it's made on. So it just says comment on, and then basically a date timestamp and a regular timestamp, date stamp, timestamp. So if I click on this one, it's going to say comment for, and then a link to a note, date of comment, which isn't there. I think this should be filled out, but obviously it is in the title, so you can figure it out. Comment text. So this is the one I just did. Oh, and this one also has the tags. I added the tags. So, comment for, and it's got the name of the note that we just had open. And it's got the date at blank. And that should be a link. I'm not sure why it's not rendering as a link. I'll figure that out in a sec. Comment text, which is what you just saw me type in. And then the tag note/comment. So, let's go ahead. So basically what this does is this lets me do very simple comments on specific notes that exist in their own markdown file, but are connected to that. So there's a couple ways you can work with these. I think in theory, what I would do is in the templates for my research notes, I would have a base that gets embedded that grabs the comments. Now, there's a couple kinks to work out. So I've got the date and then the time. So I think both are important because you could leave multiple comments on a single note in one day, and knowing which order they came in is important. But I don't quite know how to do that just yet. Because I think it has to be a... Unless I expand the plugins. Currently, I'm just utilizing Quick Add. I've got Templater that I think I installed, but it's not even activated. I'm just focused on Quick Add right now. I'm going to use that as much as I can, because I don't want to bloat it up with a bunch of plugins. Now, there is date and time property types, but those don't work with Quick Add. I think I would have to have well, maybe, let's see. I think I would have to have a specific plugin that puts stuff in there when a node is created, which I don't want to have to do. And again, we're going to go with tags. Also, I don't know the proper way to name the YAML properties, so you know, it's pretty easy to work with properties that have spaces and stuff in them, but I feel like a lot of people don't like that. I really want to figure out what like a solid, you know, uniform rule to follow is. But I don't know. So that's just where that ends. I just don't know. Okay, so let's deal with that. So we got the name. Let's add the created time. Oh, you know what? I'm so silly. So yeah, created time is good. That might be the easiest thing to do, right? That's just the, like, inherent metadata of the file itself. It's probably easy to use that. I don't know if you can change how this looks for the default created time. I'll have to figure that out, but so comment 4, that's gonna be the note. Comment text. Now we don't need the name. Date of comment. No name. We don't need the name. Oh, and let's go ahead and let's just make it so that it does not look at the templates. Contain... How did I do it in the other one? Does not contain... How did I do it in the other one? All project notes. None of the following are true, is what I did. I didn't even do it in the friggin' base thing here. I gotta clean it up a bit, obviously. Um, Untitled. Index of notes. Note comments. I think the better way is and path does not contain. Although, potentially, if you have a folder named templates and some other note here, it would also exclude that, but you'd probably want it to be excluded. But I can't just have it exclude the Obsidian folder because that's where the actual ones for this one are. Again, little things that I just need to go through and see what's the consensus on best practice for stuff like that. Now, bases do respect the folder exclusion options. And files and links. Oh, crashed? Crashed? Yeah. This theme crashes in certain settings menus. Apparently, I can't open the quick head settings and I can't open that one. But if you do the exclusion one, bases will respect that. But since I've got the note comment files in there, it would also not use those, and that's the whole point of this specific base. So, you know, do I want to just move this someplace else? Does it go in the research notes folder in its own thing? I don't know. But in theory, you can put a note comment on anything. So. Now, I think we might be able to do the instead of embedding, I think we can also do it in the sidebar, and it's got a similar effect. I'm not quite sure, but I think I saw something like that on the subreddit. But let's go ahead and let's go to the base. So this is the base already. Comment for, the note that it's a comment for. Now let's copy this, and we're going to do an embedded version. Toss it right in there. And to rename it, I don't know why I'm calling them specific index. For me, that means specific as in it's related to the note it's in, you know. And let's go to the note, go all the way here to the bottom. And so if I were to do a template for it, this would be embedded already. And I think you can even make it work with like the Obsidian Web Clipper, the official one. You can do the templates, you know, or even like Readwise. Your Readwise notes should be able to do an embedded base just by putting it in that Readwise field, you know. So you can have it at the bottom of all of your Readwise notes too, and then you can do comments on there. So there's a lot of flexibility. Let's go ahead and let's drop this base in there. Index of note comments. Let's see. Now, this is just going to list all of the comments. So if I open up, for example, this guy, go to the bottom, toss the note comment one in there, and you can see it's got the comment for there. So let me go ahead and go here. Oh no, I want to go... Let's grab this one. And I'm going to take this little thing here. I'm going to copy it, because I'm going to use that to narrow down the note comment one. So all the following are true, where tag contains note comment, file.path does not contain templates. We're going to add another one, and we're going to go hit the little code button here, the advanced filter, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that from the other one. Now instead of parent group, because our field is named something else, we're going to change it to that. Comment 4 contains this file name. Now if we go back here, it's still there, obviously. If we go to this one here, it's gone from here because now that name doesn't match. So now this embedded base is only going to show the comment notes for the active note that you've got opened up. Which is super, super cool, super fun, super interesting. I'm very excited about fleshing this out into something that I can share. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the most useful, right? Because this is only going to show comment notes for this node anyway. So we don't need the comment for. So we'll just get rid of that. So we have comment text and the date. We're going to move the date over here. And that is something, like I said, that I need to work at. It's got to be a better way to do the date and time. But there you go. We got the comment right there. I guess the only thing missing really is that you can't click into the note, the comment note itself, but you don't need to, right? The point is to have a running thought process that can be attached to each of your notes, and I don't think you'd want to edit it. Obviously you can go into the folder that it's in, or you can go to the index note where it's got the, well, it doesn't even have the note link there, but you know, you get it. You got ways to get there. So, that's pretty cool. And this can be done to any note in your vault. The only exceptions would, of course, be presumably other bases and canvases. But actually, maybe not. You can probably do one that's attached to a canvas. Can you embed canvases in bases? The other way around. Can you embed bases and canvases that use the specific, like the embedded this file stuff? Does that work? Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's just make a note here, in the default thing. I can't just click and make a canvas. Where's the canvas button? New canvas. Test canvas. So first of all, let's see if I go quick add and go new comment. Let's see if this works. I'm running out of fake comments to do. Now, can I go to note comments? Okay, it does embed, which is fucking sick. Now, obviously, why wouldn't it? Like, Obsidian, everything they add is intermeshed with everything else. Now, let's look at the comments. Test canvas.canvas. This is embedded. Should it be embedded? Seems weird. I don't know. Okay, yeah, now it's a clickable link. That looks nice. Let's go back to the canvas. Still nothing. Okay. Darn. Properties. Okay. There is a plugin that's called like Advanced Canvas or something that does restructure the underlying canvas code that lets you do like front matter and stuff that applies to it. Potentially something paired with that could work. Interesting. Oh! Oh! Look at that! So let's crash that. So if you put... So this is what I saw on the forum. If you put a base that refers to itself to grab data, like all of these specific indexes, and you put it in a sidebar, it just works with whatever you've got going. So you don't even have to actually embed it if you don't want to. So and it works with the canvas. Look at that. That is, ooh. Oh, man. Okay, let's do another one. New common and current note. One thing I might do is you can do another pop-up that maybe asks for like a name. So maybe you can like tag them, but you can also just do like, yeah, flow chart looks pretty smooth, and then you just like tag it like Dave. Do something like that. Oh, look at that! Oh man, right there, applying to the canvas. So now let's open up that one thing here, so nothing shows up. All note comments. Oh, and test canvases there. See, it's adding the exclamation mark, which still works as far as the base picking up the comments, but it just makes it so it's not a clickable link. Not sure what I'm doing wrong there, but I think that's an internal thing, because the advanced filter I'm using was a strict copy and paste with just a changing to the property key. So I imagine it's just because Obsidian forces you to embed a canvas by default, because they think like, why would you want to click a link to a canvas? You'd probably want to embed it in the note. So it's just kind of like a dummy proof type thing they do. Interesting. Well, okay. Moving on. That's something to figure out. So let's open up this guy. You can see right here we've got the date and the comment text. Man, this is So now we've got the feature-length film. We've got the supporting documents right there. I think, because the note one, I think makes sense, living in the sidebar. But because the support documents, subprojects, those are all specific to certain types of notes, I don't think they really make sense to be in the sidebar. One thing I like the idea of is keeping it in its own little pane down here. So just as you're going through your thing, the comments are going to pop up there as they go through. So let's go to the ideas for film. And then let's go new comments. Sounds good. I'm a big fan of little goblin things. That's from Dave. You know what? Maybe even better. Put it. We just keep it here. Right, and then someone else comes along. Oh. Quick add. And two. Are these like gremlins or what were the things? Okay, what was the movie with one of the savages? I think it was Fred. I got them confused. Was Fred Savage in Working, or was that Ben Savage? And which one was in the one with the goblins? Like there's the clothes, they go under the bed. I rewatched it a few years ago. It's kind of a sick movie. He goes under the bed and then he crawls around the little goblin world and goes up into like his friend or his bullies under his bully's bed. Are these like moving on? Are these like gremlins or in the templates. I saw on the forum, maybe, or the subreddit, people were like embedding bases inside callouts so you can make it collapsible. I like the idea of them being collapsible. I don't know if I like the idea of them being in callouts, because it feels like that's gonna look disgusting. Ideas for film. Now, what you could do, you could make a base that combines the projects and subprojects and supporting documents. So it looks at all of those tags and then sees what is linked, but I've got them all named differently. Parent project, subproject, whatever. I wouldn't need to, but it'd be nicer if I unified those into one named field. So just like, I don't know, connected document or something. So instead of parent project, it says, I don't know, connected document. I know people would like to use just like an up field. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I'm not sure the best way to tackle this is. Let's go to a train. Is it going to pick up speed? Is that it? City? Maybe some classic birds. I wish when you clicked on here, I mean, I understand because it's actually moving the node. I just wish that it didn't do that. This is very cool. Let's see what we've got here. Obsidian. So let's go ahead. Let's take this and let's embed it and see how it looks like. How do you do the callouts? I always forget, right? Okay. I just don't like embedding stuff in callouts, you know? I love callouts. I made a small collection of my ones that I use a lot. Copy. They're like color coded, the specific stuff that I use. Ugh. What if I just put it up here? See, it's got a little dot there. It's got to be the theme, right? See, but then it doesn't... Oh, support documents. Duh. Note comments. God, it's disgusting. It's... Yeah, I don't like this. Unfortunately. I mean, there's probably CSS stuff you can do. New. Application for small improvements. Or appreciation for small improvements. Bases as a timeline plugin replacement. What are the recommended property names? AI image OCR. List all alternatives of a property. Relation of two databases. Oh, here we go. So let's take a look at this one. How do I wrap embedded bases as a code block in a callout? As a code block. Oh, you can do them as a code block, right? Forgot about that. Now, that means, I think, you don't have the same flexibility as embedding a base, because that base code is going to live in the individual nodes. So you won't be able to easily change all of them at once like you can when you've got an embedded base file, that is. So, base views, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, this is very different from embedding a base file inline in a node in the format more strictly reason. Oh, see, that looks much nicer. Interesting. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And call out toggles plugin. Call out manager as a base. I was not prefixing every line with a, as I should have. Oh, I see. Yeah. I still don't like losing that simple ability to modify the one base file and have it just propagate, you know? Let's see how it looks, though. Can we open up the base file itself? I assume we can. Note comments. Open in default app? What's it gonna open in? Kate? Ghostwriter, Kwrite, VS Code. Bum 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 bum. Let's copy this. Let's see if we can put it in a call out. Let's see how disgusting it looks. How do you do this again? Okay. Always forget. Boom. Let's source view this. Source view. Source view. Okay. And it's just like so funky. And this needs to be in a tick 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 base. That work? Okay, kind of works. But it's just listing everything. It's too much work. I don't really care. That's a problem other people can solve if they want to. Let's go to this one. We got some support documents here. Boom, boom. So this is a comment on the Inkless text editor video subproject. Click the outline. Comment there. Go up. New comment. Outline. Pretty happy with this. I think this is good. The fact that it shows up in the canvas, I quite like it. But you know what? So let's go ahead. New project group. New subproject. Get canvas links in YAML to not be embedded links. Yeah, so I need to make this repopulate, populate properly. This one will be in progress. I like the idea of the task at least having its own thing. Like it just starts off in progress, so it's already in there, in the queue, so to speak. And maybe it pops up with a like a due date prompt as you're making it, so that's always something that's on, you know, top of mind. You got to do it. Or I don't know what to call that. But this troubleshoot. Boom, boom. Oh, it still doesn't have the embeds. We gotta put those embeds in there. In the nope thing. Let's keep this over here. I like that. Pre-populate upper dock connections. Get canvas links and YAML to not be embedded links. What else do I need to do? Condense and rename YAML properties. So let's go ahead, let's fix the templates. Let's toss those embedded bases in there. Templates. Project group template. Subprojects. I don't know. Inactive. I don't like that. But that's what we'll do for now. I don't want the completed one. Project, subproject template. Report documents. What else does it need? That might be it for that one. And then project support. No, because this is the actual like document itself. So this doesn't have any relevant things. Except maybe the comments? Do I want to embed any of the comment ones in there? I just want to do the thing. I wish this plus was more useful. They added a thing where you can do... You can hit this and it'll make a note that fits the criteria. I wish it was a thing that, you know, did a, just like triggered a template. Because, you know, created from button. You click that. It doesn't even show up here. Does it show up anywhere? Created from button. I guess it has note comment there for the type. Comment 4, comment 10. I mean, it's got the stuff there. But because it doesn't fill up the comment 4, it doesn't show up here. Oh, it does. This is it right here. See? It's useless. Delete. Delete. Oh, I also want to figure out the canvas stuff. In a working base, or a in a self-referential base, embedded in a canvas. Why am I doing that there? Boom. So it works here. Why won't it work? Delete. Dummy note in bed. Let's open this up. Let's put the... Oh. That wouldn't work, right? Because it'll just grab comments from its own thing, right? Like, obviously. What am I thinking? Test canvas, blarg. Yeah. Interesting. But at least it works in the sidebar. Yeah, so that will work. So what you would have to do to get a... I mean, you can't do a dynamic self-referential base in a canvas. It has to be its own specific base that literally references itself. Interesting dilemma. I'm not too concerned with it. Getting it in the sidebar is fantastic. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see if we go to note comments. Let's open up this one. Yes, for film. Show in Explorer. Show in Real Navigation. So if I put the ideas for film there, so the no file is selected, it's just the canvas. We've got the comments on that canvas. If I click here, this changes to the comments on the ideas for film. A lot of cool stuff. I'll have to figure out what feels smoothest, most natural. Okay, I'm gonna develop this into something. Got a lot to mull over. But thank you for the few of you that stopped by. Very fun. And I think this is going to be the next thing I hunker down on. And I want to create a vault and some base templates and stuff to share with everyone. And I hope I can do something super cool. I'm gonna put on a movie and I'm gonna go through some of these to-do lists. Look at these. All right. Adios. Animalcracker.art. TV guide at animalcracker.art. YouTube.com/@animalcrackerart. Twitch.tv/animalcrackerart. Ko-Fi, Patreon, animalcrackerart. Adios.